If you've ever posted a video or done any type of video online work or something with photos, there's something you're very familiar with, and it is editing. And there are hundreds of different softwares out there. Some are very complex, some are very simple, some are for mobile, some are just desktop, some are expensive, some are free. But how do you know which one is actually going to do what you need? I work with a lot of different editors. I use Filmora, DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro. For mobile, I've used KineMaster, CapCut, YouTube Create, and a whole host of others. But the one that I'm going to take a look at today is called MiniTool Movie Maker. That's a bit of a mouthful, but this is a fairly simple, streamlined editor that you can use without a watermark, though there are some stipulations. This video is made in collaboration with MiniTool, and in exchange for evaluating their software, they did give me a license code to be able to evaluate their paid version of this platform. This is their website, and you can check it out for a whole lot of different information and different features that they offer, but this is for Windows 10 and for Windows 11. They have a whole bunch of other utilities within the MiniTool software package, but we're just going to focus on the Movie Maker for right now. The installer itself is a rather small file, but you just click on it and it begins to run. I did go through and read the entire license agreement and privacy policy. I didn't see any major red flags, but as always, read through all of the forms on your own. I'm going to go with a custom installation, where the only thing I'm going to change is the installation path, and then I'm going to click install. The MiniTool Movie Maker does have a free edition, but it does have some limitations. It seems to have the full feature set, but you can only export the first 3 videos at full length, and everything afterwards is under 2 minutes, but it doesn't do anything with a watermark, which is something you see with a lot of free editors. So if you're going to be doing short form content where everything needs to be in that 60 to 120 seconds depending on platform, this could be great for you. And as far as software goes, this is a very minimal installation at just over 1 gigabyte. But what about the software itself? Is it intuitive? Does it have good features? Let's take a look. As with most editing softwares, when it launches, you have your standard dashboard to start up, where you can watch a brief tutorial, see your previous projects, open a project file, or select a specific aspect ratio of your choosing. When you first launch the software, it'll take you through a guided tutorial that you can't really click out of until you go to the red X, which at first I thought was to close the entire program, but is just for the tutorial. From here, it's a pretty simple interface. You have your project information, your player, your timeline, different areas for media, audio, text. To add in media, you can click on Import Files, where you can find your specific folder and drag in any materials that you need. Unfortunately, it does not appear that you can drag and drop information into this window. But once your files are in your media section, you can either click on the plus button or you can drag it into the specific area of the timeline that you want it to be. Within the media section, you are able to organize and sort different files dependent on their type. In their audio section, you can either add audio, search for a specific track, or you can pull in from their pre-made library, which does appear to have quite a good selection. However, I don't see any way of filtering by length, which is always something I enjoy seeing. But one thing that I am very glad to see is you can right-click in an empty space and download all of the music files at one time, rather than having to click individually. Their different text effects are pretty standard for what you would expect to see in any video editor, as are their transitions, effects, and filters. And then just like any other editor, you have your play, backwards, forwards, and stop buttons, your audio adjustments, your aspect ratio, and your ability to go to full screen. From manipulating the clips themselves, you can drag your timeline bar and you can split, or you can drag the edges, as is pretty standard with most editors. You also have the option to split from the toolbar up here, as well as delete, crop, and change your speed. However, one thing I was not able to find was the hotkey for splitting this clip. I tried many different ones, from S, C, and B, and various alterations with Alt, Control, and Shift, even Control L from the old Windows Movie Maker days, but I could not find the hotkey for this. It might be there, I just can't seem to find it. By selecting on a clip itself, you do have a Video Properties menu where you can rotate, you can change the scale, and you can do some very basic manipulation settings. There's also the ability to apply a LUT to the different items. You can adjust your contrast, saturation, all those fairly normal things, and do a little bit of audio manipulation. Speaking of audio, if you go up to that named tab and you pull in some type of music, simply download and drag into your timeline. You can clip and adjust this file just like the videos, and again, you have very simple audio manipulation tools, but it's not something that's super complex. Once you have a specific clip in a way that you would like it to export, you simply click on Export. And here you'll see the licensing limitations of that free edition, and you'll be able to choose the name, storage location, your file format. It can upscale or downscale depending on what you need to do, and you can even set the frame rate. There are some additional settings where you can go ahead and select some presets, or you can go ahead and choose the encoder you would like to use, as well as your bit and frame rate. And I didn't have any issues rendering even complex files. This is now the paid version of their platform, indicated by the Ultimate tag up here. And one thing I am happy to be able to tell you is that it does appear that the entire feature set of this program is included in that free version, with the only limitation being those rendering restrictions under 2 minutes. With that being said, I was a little surprised to not see some additional features showing up once it's on the Ultimate plan. The basic video editor options here, as well as no actual menus when you right-click on a video, combined with the lack of hotkeys, left me a little concerned. There are no more export restrictions, which is really good, but for what the Ultimate plan costs, I was expecting a little bit more. It does give you access to a lifetime of free upgrades, so if they decide to integrate more features or do any type of AI editors, those would come with this plan. However, everything involved seems a little bit basic. One feature I was able to find that is changed in the Ultimate version is you can now drag and drop items into your media window. I thought perhaps that there was some settings menu that I had missed that would unlock the advanced features, but it doesn't appear as if there is an actual settings menu where you can set your preferences or unlock different features or things you might find in other standard video editors. However, with all of that being said, you may not need this to be any more than it is. It is a very simplistic editor that can be used on practically anything, and its ability to work within that 2-minute window without a watermark is of extreme utility to content creators that work in the short space. If you'd like to get this software for yourself, you can go to moviemaker.minitool.com, or you can click on the product link below. Let me know if this editor would work for you and if you have any questions about MiniTool.